Welcome to Let Freedom Ring. Wow, almost messed that up for the first time. As you can see, we got security here, keeping Soapy Pre-Op out of the show. Making sure he doesn't try to attack again. That's always a concern, even if I'm wearing him on my T-shirt today. But, Soapy, the wedding's this weekend, and I'm going to be looking for you. And if I see you anywhere near it, we're going to have a problem. Okay? Just putting it out there. But my guest this week, my friend Amadeus Jackson. Amadeus, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Good. Let's get to know you a little bit. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Well, I'm from Sarasota, Florida, born and raised. That's where I grew up, honestly, until I moved to the New Hampshire area for the first time was probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
I didn't even see snow.
Yeah, we talked about that in the promotion of it.
Oh, yeah.
What's that like, the first time you see it?
Honestly, the first time was awesome, right? It was slowly trickling down. I was with my buddy Joey K, and I'm like, is that snow? Is that snow? He's like, that's snow, man. And I go outside with my shirt off and everything. I just loved it. And then when it started snowing for a while, and then now I'm shoveling the front of the porch, and then my car's getting stuck, and then shoveling that. I stopped liking it as much, No, it was an awesome experience, right? Because I wanted until 28 years old until I seen snow. So it was cool seeing that.
I had a guy I used to work with, same thing, came from California.
Okay.
The first time he saw snow, he was going nuts. He's like, how do you guys not love this? I go, dude, I've dealt with this my whole life.
Yeah.
You give it some time. Give it some time, and you might not like it as much.
Well, it's quick I picked on driving in it. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's so bad driving in it, and then I started driving. I'm like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it definitely takes some getting used to though. But no, that's awesome. What are 3 things that everybody should know about you?
3 things everyone should know about me. I'm an American. For one, right? God bless the U.S. of A. Number 2 is I have a huge heart, and I got a soft spot for addicts. Since I struggled with addiction my whole life, right? And another thing someone should know, I play softball, right? I love playing ball. That's my go-to. That's my outlet. That's one of the things I do today. That's almost a part of my recovery and happiness in some way.
Yeah, and I know, so because you said you used to work in a facility too for people?
Yeah.
And now just kind of help them as they ask for help?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, because to keep it real, I was the bottom of the barrel junkie, right? Not growing up, you wouldn't think that, right? Growing up, I had a kind of decent life. My father was my best friend. His name was Michael Jackson, ironically. Great guy, right? Me and him did everything together. My mom wasn't too much in the picture. She left when I was young. Me and my brother never got along. I haven't talked to him for years, so it was me and my dad. And I played a lot of ball, right? I did go to school then. I wasn't the best at grades, but I made enough. I made good enough grades to play ball, and that's literally what it came down to. And my junior year of high school is when I went from 0 to 100, right? I get a call, and they just told me my dad had a stroke, right? He ended up still living for a few more years, but he had one of the worst strokes you could have. And it was 0 to 100. Well, I smoked and did some things here and there. All bets were off. Once I found that out, he was my structure. He was a military guy, right? My whole family was military. I didn't have that, and my mom wasn't there to show up for me. I didn't have no family. My uncle tried to keep me in for a little bit, but I stopped going to school. I started getting arrested right away. That's what comes with addiction, right? So I started doing things to get the next one, and stuff I never thought I would do, right? I started doing, and it caused a lot of pain and misery, and more than external imprisonment, internal imprisonment, right? Imprisonment of the mind, and that's the darkest place. And you ain't got to struggle with addiction to have imprisonment of the mind, right? That's why today I feel I sit here on borrowed time, right? You see me, we play ball together. I'm happy majority of the time and stuff, because I know this is extra credit time for me, right? I've died several times alone, and I get another chance at this, right?
Well, I hope you're here for a long, long time.
Yeah, me too.
But no, I understand that. That's tough for someone at that age to not have, the parents are gone, So, no, I get that. And we're glad you're here. We're glad that you're helping people, because I know some people that have told me, they said, Amadeus is a great person to talk to.
Yeah.
When you are talking about addiction. So I applaud you for helping others. Now, question. Relating to the theme of the show, which is Let Freedom Ring.
Oh, yeah.
What does it mean to you to be an American?
I mean, honestly, it means everything. I'm about the staple American as it gets, right? I mean, even how I was raised. My dad was military redneck, per se, right? He used to like calling himself. Very hardcore, but all about manners. Yes sir, no sir. This is how it is, right? We stand for our flag. We support our troops. My whole family was military. So, I mean, I commend anyone that has served in the military. Due to my addiction, reason why I didn't is I was enlisted, and then I ended up catching some charges, and they frown upon that.
Yeah.
I love America, right? Like, I get power of choice. I wouldn't be sitting here today having like another chance after chance after chance again if it wasn't for the freedom I've had here.
Awesome. So I like that answer. And we get so many different, because I think it means so many different things to so many different people. I like that answer. And taking a quick switch. This is the jokes were made. This is Gatorade. Producer Justin had made some comments as I walked in. I swear this is Gatorade. It is sterile and I like the way it tastes. But getting to current events, we're starting to get a little bit. I don't know. COVID cases are on the rise again. I'm in New Jersey. We got people to this wedding, maybe not coming now because they're a little bit nervous. Any take on the rising cases, and how has your life been during the pandemic?
I mean, of course, when it first started happening, it was affected. I was actually still working in treatment. I remember we had to switch. I mean, I was overseeing 60, 70 clients, and we had to switch to telehealth, right? And everyone was freaking out. Everyone's like, oh, I don't want to get COVID, blah, blah, blah. And it was scary at first, right? I mean, you first heard it in China. You didn't think it was going to come here, right? And then it started creeping a little more talk, and then that first case in America, and it was like, oh, here it is, right? And then until it started happening in places around me, it didn't get as real. Now, honestly, between me and you, COVID never scared me as an individual. I mean, I'm in my early 30s, right? I generally think I'm sort of healthy, right? I like taking care of myself. It was mainly concerned for others, but and then I actually had COVID when I moved back to Florida for a little bit, right? And not once did I personally think I was going to die or anything. Did it suck? Yeah. I mean, I got pretty sick, right? I had a high fever and got a little pneumonia in there, and then it was over, right? I actually just heard yesterday that the COVID cases were climbing and all that. Honestly, for me as an individual, I don't try to follow the news. For me, that's a negative. It's
a nicer feeling.
It is, right? I'm all about energies and energies attract, and I can pull that from an individual person, or I can pull that from a television, or I can pull that from what I'm listening to during the day, or how I'm talking about myself during the day, right? One of my favorite people growing up was Bruce Lee, right? He used to say, as you think, so shall you become, right? Yeah. So I'm a strong believer in that. So hopefully it doesn't get crazy where it affects a lot of people's lives, because it does to a certain extent, right? But I know I can turn something into a positive. Even when I was on that quarantine and stuff, and I did a lot of meditation and self-seeking and stuff like that, instead of being oh man, I gotta sit in my house for 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks, dude. You know what I mean? It's not like that.
You find something to do. Yeah. No, and we talked about this the other week because they were on the rise in New Hampshire, but they weren't as serious as cases as we saw, early on. So, I don't know. I feel because everybody feels like they're the expert on it. It's this is the first. None of us has lived through the pandemic. Nobody. Anybody that lives through the Spanish flu has been. They died a long time ago. So nobody's an expert, and because a lot of people criticize Dr. Fauci, and I go, he's about the best that we got. Yeah. Maybe you can back off him a little bit. Right. And we'll just get to politics for fan questions. Any take on how you think Joe Biden's done so far?
I'm going to just say no comment right now.
Sure.
I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings either. Yeah. I mean, I'm not huge in the political standing. But one thing I did like, at least about Trump, is he might not always like said the best things, right?
Yeah.
He might have tweeted the wrong things, but he did a lot of good for America, and he was God-centered. And I like to think I'm God-centered, right?
Sure.
Anything, if I'm not trying to lean on my higher power or God, like I will crumble as an individual, because at some point my ego takes over, and all ego is for me is easing God out.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I agree. I feel sometimes I feel different about Trump. Like I felt like Obama was a better Christian than Trump.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But no. That's and it's a tough thing because he hasn't. Biden hasn't been president that long. But we always like to throw that in. Mm-hmm. It's just like sticking to like with the theme, like what's going on in the country, type of thing. But you have a ton of fan questions. So I want to get to those.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of Amadeus.
Let's hear it.
First one, Nick Homer.
Oh.
Again, Nick Homer. I'm going to call you out again. He said that Tiny Pipes, myself, has to admit I'm a fraud before he'd ever come on the show.
Yeah.
Nick has been, I taught him what fraud was.
Yeah.
Okay, I taught him that. And he's used it against me ever since. But, Nick, thank you for the question. We do want you in this seat, and you know you can do it.
Come on, Nick.
Is it true you swing shavers in Sunday co-ed?
Of course, right? Yeah. Some of us don't need a swing a shaver to hit it out, Nick. No offense. Honestly, I've never used a shaver in my life for BP or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like I need one, right?
I don't think you need one.
I think it would be very, very dangerous for anyone that's on the ball field if I use a shaver.
And when we say shave, anybody that doesn't play softball, it's a bat that I think the compression in it's a little bit different. There are people that actually roll bats where they've altered the bats. Mm-hmm. Sometimes bats just get broken in, and the compression is just they've done nothing to it, which causes arguments when bats don't pass. Because then people are like, "What'd you do?" I've known of one person in 16 years. Is it 16? Yes, 16 years of softball that has actually altered their bat. One person. And Brittany Damon commented, and I said, were you answering the questions for us? She goes, good thing they test bats in Sunday co-op.
They do. Yeah, there is bat testing, Nick Homer, in case they're... Oh, wait. Yeah, he showed up one game this season.
Yeah, I think he's been there once.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's probably working. I know he works a lot. Next question from Michael Schultz. How many jerseys have you acquired in 2021? Yeah.
Actually, got a text today. Because I do have an announcement.
Yeah, we do.
Want me to save that towards the end?
We have it scheduled.
I'm gonna save that towards the end. I got a text today. Because I am switching teams. I had to make a. It will come at the end, or I had to make a because the rosters will get frozen, and I'm going to a team, but the person texted them back and was like, you need to tell your player that he needs to stop switching teams every weekend. He's not allowed to do that. As a lot of people know, I've played on a lot of different softball teams. It's hard to make up my decision. I like a lot of the guys. There's some things I don't like. But majority of the time, I just like to have fun, right, and meet new people, right, and be personal. But let me see, Schultz. Counting... What, should I count season ball in there too?
Yeah.
If I count season ball, I'm close to 20 this year.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
That's a lot to acquire. I mean, my whole closet is just full of softball jerseys at this point. So.
Oh, no. I think I broke a record this year. So I'm proud of myself, right? I like the jerseys. I like having options, right?
I'm telling you, but I will say this. I will not play on teams that wear cotton. I'm not wearing cotton anymore.
No, it's no good.
I want to be... If I'm going to play softball, I want to feel like a jersey.
Hey, shout out to New Power, too, by the way.
Big ups to Chad LaFontaine.
That's right, Chad.
This stuff for us. So, let's see. Oh, Harrison Perez wants to know, former guest of the show, what's the furthest ball you have hit?
I can't really tell you the furthest ball I hit, but I can tell you this. I remember I was playing in a World's Tournament in Vieira Beach, and I was playing in the stadium, and I actually hit one out of the stadium in left center, and I know it's like 390 there, and it went out probably by like 40 feet or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that. And I mean, that's like one of them I could kind of judge. It's hard when you see like some go in the trees. You just don't know where they're
it's
going.
going.
But that's probably the furthest one is I could like measure. So a little over 4 or something like that. But it was a great feeling, dude. Like doing it in like a world softball
I
and
can
hitting
imagine.
out of the stadium. And I was like, I haven't seen nothing like that.
Now, when you played baseball, were you a big home run hitter?
Yeah. I mean, I was always a good hitter, but due to my addiction, I only played till my junior year of high school.
That's as far as I played.
Right. I was always a really good hitting catcher. I was caught in baseball, right, from growing up. I was definitely more like a double home run hitter, right? RBI. I either batted 3 through 5, depending on what team I was, all the way up, from all-stars to high school to travel. It didn't matter.
You know, it'd be fun if we ever could rent out home and stadium,
Yeah.
get some baseballs, a bunch of us, and try to like.
We should do a home run derby.
That would be fun, because I'll be honest, I almost had one at a home and stadium playing Senior Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
It bounced right for the wall and went over. And
How big's Homer Stadium?
It ranges. There's deeper parts. I think where I hit it, I don't know, it was probably 390 with a baseball.
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe less.
Probably couldn't hit a
Maybe
baseball
might be-
anymore. Those things look tiny now.
Well, I think if they lobbed it up to us.
Yeah.
I think we should be able to do
Or
it.
maybe throw like 60 or
Yeah,
70 tops now.
When we went to Cooperstown for my brother's bachelor party in May, we all were like, yep, we're going in the cages. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anybody hit anything over 65.
Yeah.
So maybe 70 was like the limit. Now, John Nagel has a really important question here because, as you know, New Power, formerly the Raccoons,
New power.
we've had a lot of injuries this year.
Oh, yeah.
Myself included. Taking a runner almost every, I didn't take a runner Thursday. As you saw on Saturday, we were playing in the My Social Sports tournament. Ran once, said, please, get me a runner. But Nagel wants to know, any tips for injury-plagued 30-year-old softball players were made of glass, from John Nagel.
Perfect question, John Nagel. I'm actually I'm 31 years old. I have multiple injuries right now. I have 3 herniated discs in my back and actually a torn rotator cuff and labrum. Oh my God, I'm falling apart over here.
Don't worry.
And one thing I've always told myself, because now I do live in New Hampshire, is that's what the winter's for, boy. Right? Surgery's repairing yourself, and you're good for next season.
I'm seriously considering it, and people think I'm joking.
Yeah.
Is starting yoga.
Honestly, dude, I've been talking about that with some of my friends. Like,
Yeah.
my buddy, I work with my best friend Sean Rand, right? And we talk about, we're like, man, we're about to start doing yoga. We're like in work and like our backs are hurting and stuff like that. I'm wearing a back brace. Like the kids, there's some younger guys that work there like, oh, look at these guys, right? But I mean, that's what happens. It starts catching up with you.
Well, I was watching a documentary on Diamond Dallas Page, or not a documentary. He was actually seeing a chiropractor. There's a big Bo something. He does the chiropractor stuff for wrestlers, UFC fighters. And DDP was saying that, like, I think he was like 38, and they said, your career's over. There's no way.
Yeah.
You're done. And then he started yoga, and then he went on to do it for another 10 years or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, sounds like yoga might be
Honestly,
a thing.
that might be the answer.
Right?
Brandon,
Brandon P. I never know how to say his last name. He wants to know, why do you play E's?
First off, I go back and forth
Yeah.
between E's and D's.
Yeah.
Okay. And honestly, it takes a lot of skill in E too. People always knock E, but you get one home run for the whole team, and you can't just hit it out. Right, you got to be able to shoot backside, hit it where you want, right? And I enjoy that, right? I remember, how many times it was almost like proving myself. Like even before I started with the Raccoons this year and stuff like that. Because I've been close with Schultz for a little bit, and we were talking. It's like so many people think you can't control your swing, right? And you've seen me do. I shoot backside when I want to do that.
I know that, yeah.
Right, and it's almost just like not to show people, but just like showing to myself too at the same time, right? I don't have to hit a home run. Like, of course, it feels good, I guess, to hit a home run, but I feel more of like a ball player, be able to do like everything around, right? If I need to slap something to right field, I need to slap something to right field and do what's best for the team, right?
Yeah, I agree, and I think people get too hooked on the letters here.
100%.
Because I think if you're up in the B range,
Yeah.
you're pretty elite. Probably played college ball.
Yeah.
C's, I think I've seen some C players that probably didn't even have college baseball background get there. But D's and E's, I feel like you can switch pretty simple from that, So I think people get hooked on the letters. It's like high school.
Yeah.
Sometimes
No,
softball.
it definitely is.
Yeah, I'm a C player. I'm this, I'm that. It's like,
you know how many times I heard this shit? Oh, you're playing E's, you're a sandbagger, all this stuff. And I'm like, honestly, it's probably harder to hit for me in E than it is in D, right?
Yeah. Sometimes when I tell people, I'm like, guys, it's a hobby. Can we stop? Like,
Well,
we love it. We love it.
And I know I'm not good. That's why, like, even switching teams and stuff, like, I know I'm not going pro, right?
Yeah. I don't know, is there a pro? I don't know.
Not one team that I was on this year, no offense to any of them, has signed me in a paid contract, right? So, it's been fun, but at the same time, like, I know I'm not going to be a pro softball player. I like having fun. I like being competitive, right? And honestly, being a little more competitive is fun and stuff like that. That's why, like, it is definitely probably a lot better defense in D and some better hitters here and there, right? It is, but I just like to have fun, right? I don't care if it's a rec league freaking tournament or what's going on. I just want to play.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I think that's why when I did the pickup league last year, so many people had fun because they said we're just playing for loving it, and that was a hit. There's a question from Jen Sapolis. Jen, I apologize. I butcher her name every time. I'm not going to ask it because I looked up what the word meant.
Oh, I know.
And Jen, have a little class.
Oh, yeah.
This is a family-friendly show.
That's right, Jen.
And don't put words that I don't know the meaning of, and then I Google them and find out what they mean. So
I know what it means.
You're on notice for that. I had to look it up, and now I know.
It's because my name comes from Greek.
Yes,
right?
and she's also Greek.
She's also Greek.
But that one I was like, I better look this up. And I did. So, Jen, classless. Let's get into Daisy Rivera has a question. First of all, she loves your name.
Yeah.
Says that plain simple. But anyways, because she has a couple. What made you leave Florida?
What made me leave Florida is it was like the turning point of like me and my addiction, right? I managed to get like some time here and there in Florida, clean and away from the area, and I kept going back out. And here's how the consequences changed for me and my addiction, right? Early on, it was like arrest, right? I couldn't stay out of trouble, incarceration after incarceration. But then I like found out how to do stuff and not get incarcerated, right? I got a little bit, per se, smarter with the criminal world or whatever you want to say, right? And then the consequences switched to I was going to treatment after treatment. Then I was somehow getting scholarships to treatment bounce. 'Cause I don't have family around. So that's what I was doing, right? To survive. And then I started getting all these health issues, right? Like I said, overdosed a few times. Then I had endocarditis, a heart infection inside my bloodstream. That almost killed me. I was in the hospital for a few months and they gave me this antibiotic that was so strong it killed the good and bad antibodies in my stomach, and then I had another infection from the antibiotic that gave me C. diff in my intestines. And I did 9 rounds of antibiotics. That didn't work, right? So the doctor's like, hey, nothing's working. We can try a fecal transplant. I'm not going to explain it. It's as nasty as it sounds, right? And it's to put good antibodies back in you. And I had nothing. The only thing I had to lose was my life again. And I'm like, might as well, like straight survival, willing to do anything. It ended up working, and I thought I would never use again, right? I go back in Florida, and I'm got a few months clean. I get a little weight back, right? I'm back in the gym. I'm like, oh, I'm back. I'm back, but I still hated myself. Right? I didn't want to admit that to myself. I still didn't like me as an individual. No human wants to admit that. And then I went back out and overdosed again. I was up for 2 weeks. I was in psychosis, right? I lost everything. I had a business at the time, lost the business, drove in the ground, lost where I was living. I was homeless again, right? And I get up and this guy named Chris Foster's like,
I've heard big
oh
things
yeah,
about
Chris
Foster.
is the man.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know, Chris is the reason why I'm sitting here today, right? I want to be alive if it wasn't for that man on more than one occasion, right? And I was, this before I even knew him, and he's like, how would you feel about going to Nashua, New Hampshire? I had no idea where that was on a map. I didn't, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, run it, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. What do I have to lose, right? I'm not trying to die. And that was the best decision I ever made in my life, right? Did I like the snow? No. Did I honestly like the people at first? No.
Oh.
But there's I'm like,
Yeah,
Northerners, right? I'm a Southern boy, right? Like, one talk about America, right?
Did you guys used to, because I've been called a Yankee in the
Oh,
South
yeah.
before. Yeah. I'm like, that's offensive to a New Englander.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
Red Sox guys.
No, I love New England people now,
Yeah.
and I've had more. There's relationships I have here. Chris being one, right? My buddy Sean being one, like Matt Lee, like these people are my family here.
Yeah.
Right? That's one thing I never had, right, for a long time since my dad passed away. And they became my family. These people showed up for me when I couldn't love myself, right? And they were willing to do whatever. When I was counting myself out, I'm like, what is it worth anymore? And they still showed up for me, right? Like, there's nothing more valuable than that, right? They say in the program, stuff like that, like the opposite of addiction is connection, right? I got to have connections, right? I have connections for me with my higher power, with other people around me, with people in softball, right? Is once I start getting isolated, for me, that's the devil's playground. That's when I start thinking crazy. That's when I start believing the stuff in my head, and that's a scary place, right?
I'll be honest with you. I mean, we had to shut down the show at one point during the winter and stuff because I was having my own mental health issues, and when you do feel so like, it is hard, very hard. I'm glad that you found Chris Foster because we all love you.
Yeah, no, I love. Well, that's why I don't take myself too serious, right?
Yeah.
It's because, dude, like, first off, I get to turn my ashes into beauty.
Yeah.
Right? I get to turn my trials and tribulations into something beautiful and be like, yo, dude, hey, there's a way out, right?
Yeah.
Like, believe me, if I can do this, anyone can, right? If I can get through the gates of hell, whatever you want to call it, the imprisonment of the mind, the pain and torture and the chaos that I went through, and it made me stronger as an individual, is honestly that molded me who I am today. That molded me to stand up for myself and realize, like, this is who I am today, and I'm not ashamed of it at all.
Yeah.
Not one little bit. I'll always talk about it. I'll tell people straight up, why don't you drink? Because I break out in handcuffs. I'm allergic.
Yeah.
Right? That's just the facts, right?
Yeah.
I get arrested, I will rob my best friend, and I become someone I don't like.
Right, yep.
Right? Now, you see who I am without having a substance. I mean, I'm a nice guy for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Unless I go 0 for 4 in a game, right?
Oh, when I'm in a bad mood, you usually pick me up. I show up at the field, and I got a whole game plan. And Wes goes, "I'm not playing short," and I'm like, "God damn it," and I'm pissed off. First base is like, "Coach, hey," So
I got you, man.
I appreciate that. Now she has a really good question because I want to know this because you're a legitimate Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. You grew up in Florida. Because I've never actually met someone out of the Tampa area that's been a fan. She wants to know perspective or on like or dislike for Tom Brady. Did it change after he left New England to come to Tampa Bay?
100%, right? Of course, I mean, Tampa hasn't been winning for a decent amount of time. If so, it would be like an even record, right? They haven't made it to the playoffs in a little while alone until Brady and a few other individuals came there. Of course I liked when Brady came to Tampa. I mean, Tampa's been my team from before Warren Sapp, John Lynch, and all Mike Allstott, right? I'll never forget that. And it's not like I disliked Brady, but I always commended him for being an animal on the field because I'm all about sportsmanship, and when I see someone that is strong like that and determined at any cost, and not just because of his talent, but the main thing is because of his drive, right?
Yes.
And I see that with him. I wasn't knocking him. Did I hate when we would have to play Tom? Of course. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you seen that video on the internet? That ain't even made up. That dude's an animal.
And that video was real. I know people are spreading
real.
rumors that it wasn't.
Yeah.
So how did you feel winning that Super Bowl?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I was hoping they were going to win. Honestly, in the beginning of the season, it was a little rocky. But I knew they had to click up.
Yeah.
Right? They had a lot of new players. But the cool thing is their whole entire roster's coming back this year, right? They didn't lose anyone. And when I started seeing them connect towards the end of the season in the playoffs, and I was just like, this is the team. right?
I couldn't, every week they won. I go, because
Yeah.
I expect the first round. Then he beats Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Then he beats Aaron Rodgers, and I go, so now he's going through the NFC, which they said he could never do.
Yep.
Oh my God. Like
all around that team though, Tom Brady, without him, don't get me wrong, like Tampa's always lacked on a quarterback. It's just never
Winston
been there.
was not the answer.
No,
for sure.
Winston threw as many interceptions as touchdowns season before he left, like literally. And I'm talking about from the backfield to wide receivers to tight ends to defense to all the way down to special teams. They're solid all around, right? And that's what a team needs, right?
Yeah, it was crazy run for sure.
I didn't think they were going to win by that much, though.
No, well, if have you seen the video making fun of Mahomes? Like he couldn't do anything.
I
Even
know.
when he started to, it was like the refs are throwing flags at him.
Yeah.
So, last question, fan questions from Matt Lee, former guest of the show. What's the main difference between Florida softball and New Hampshire softball?
First off, you get to play all year round. I mean, that's the best thing about it. That's one thing I miss. I've played a little indoor here, and honestly,
the same,
not a fan at all of it, right? No offense to the indoor heroes.
Yeah, there are some of them.
There is. But, a cool thing that I played a lot in there that they don't really own, they might have it around here, but it's not big, is One Nation and Freedom. Like a cool thing about One Nation and Freedom.
I've heard of Freedom.
Like Freedom, you get to actually steal bases, right?
Yeah.
You get to have a home run hitter, right? And this is with One Nation too, or like a band hitter. Home run hitter, like say it's your 4-hole hitter, right? And he can hit a home run anytime. Say he walks, it passes down until he's up again. So it doesn't count. So you get 3 home runs for that game. Say someone in your lineup after that guy walks, hits a home run, it won't count against that. Right?
Okay.
It just switches things up, right? It's pretty cool to be a part of there. So that's mainly what I played there was One Nation and Freedom and stuff like that. I do miss my Florida softball team over there. I know they've been killing it. I miss them.
Are the fields nicer?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I played at Worlds.
Yeah.
But that's also, we played ESPN, which you expect it. But like a rec field for Florida.
A
nicer than
majority of
that?
rec fields are nice too.
Yeah.
And they all have fences.
Yeah.
No offense. Some of the fields up here just don't have fences.
Yeah.
On a softball field, which is like, at least put it somewhere. I don't care if it's at 450. Like put a fence somewhere.
Because having to run in the outfield is not fun.
Or you hit a 390
there.
foot home run and the person standing there underneath it.
Like I've seen this guy before. Let me back way up. All right. So big thing though. Talk about. You're gonna make a decision. This is like bigger than LeBron James' decision. This is bigger than someone announcing that they're going to what college they're gonna play football for. Which team are you finishing tournaments out with this year?
I
wish I had a hat to put down.
Bro, honestly, I was going to wear the jersey. I was going to be like, here it is. Here it is with a lot of talk and a lot of good, valuable teams, right, that are solid teams that have asked me to play with them a little bit. I made a decision. I was at work today. I was with my best friend. And all I got to say is DC Nation, baby.
DC?
Yeah.
Diamond Cutters?
Yeah, Diamond Cutters.
Yes.
We went back to Diamond Cutters with those. I mean, I like a lot of the guys, solid people.
They're out of Lawrence?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Bobby played for them for a minute.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the first. We've never had a decision like this on the show before.
I know, it's huge.
It's huge. So Diamond Cutters, you have Amadeus.
And rosters will be locked, and the director did say after this, no matter what, even if it's tomorrow, I am not allowed to join another team.
So that is it. All the other teams.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Have you been watching the Olympics at all?
I haven't actually this year. I mean, the most I watched was sitting at Casey's barbecue yesterday. Someone diving in a pool. That's about it. So.
I watched a minute of the softball. I just haven't really got into it. I know Simone, the gymnast, she's having some issues. She sat down. But nothing major to report. I don't trust the Olympic Committee anymore.
No.
They've done enough things where I'm like, yeah, all right.
You know what I did see, though? They want to start, which is, I guess, cool. I mean, I don't know my opinion on it yet, but I seen it when I was watching at KC's yesterday is they want to do Olympics for video gaming. How do you feel about that?
I'm not a video game guy.
Yeah.
I haven't played since Sega.
Yeah.
So it won't interest me.
It wouldn't
but I'm
interest
sure
me
there's
either.
I'm sure there's a base for that.
Don't get me wrong. I'll jump on MLB The Show here and there.
I've heard that, yeah. Where's Amadeus tonight? I know he's hurt, but we're barbecuing. They're like, dude, he's playing the show.
Nah, that's how Schultz said.
Schultz said that, yeah.
Well, you ain't lying.
Yeah, I'll have to see how that comes out. Cleveland Guardians, it's replacing the name of the Indians. Do you like that name?
No.
I didn't really.
I
didn't know.
Like, you can't go. Man, that's like it's one of the first team. It's the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
Like.
I won't lie. I bought up a bunch of Cleveland Indians merchandise.
Yeah. Smart.
Just because
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people are offended by now the mascot Chief Wahoo, but I did love that logo and I bought a bunch of hats with it on it. So I love hats.
That's one thing that I'm not gonna get too into it. Is it
Sure.
ruffles
Polarizing
a lot of feathers
issue.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Is just how offended people get with the littlest things now. It just kind of sucks with certain things, right? Someone not trying to be disrespectful at all in any way, shape, or form, and it's just rippled to a whole nother level lately.
My thing was, I understand maybe that logo.
Yeah.
I understood Redskins, like Redskins,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Indians I didn't think was that bad.
No, me either.
Is the Guardians name? I mean, a lot of people are making fun of it, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's what I didn't even know what to think about it.
You know.
Like, yeah, I honestly didn't even hear that till yesterday.
Yeah, like.
So I don't know when they changed it or whatnot. I haven't. There's one thing that I haven't been watching that much baseball this year, which is
I haven't
strange.
either. Yeah, and the Red Sox are great.
All I do is sometimes check people's records. I'm a race, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'll check, keep up with them, see what's going on a little bit, or a little bit with their stats. But other than that, if the Rays ain't playing, I'm not watching a game. Unless it's on it, like at a restaurant or something, I'll watch it.
Side subject. Do you like that stadium?
What, Tropicana Field?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there a lot. I like it.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's cool playing in there. And just being in that atmosphere. I mean, that's I've had a cool. I remember before my dad passed away, he took me to the Home Run Derby and All-Star game was in Houston. That was a pretty awesome.
Oh yeah,
And I've been to Fenway and stuff like that, which is cool too. But there's not enough room, man. It's so tight in there. At least Tropicana Field, you have a little more room and stuff
Fenway,
like
if you
that.
sit in the bleachers and you sit all the way in the end and there's no other exit, that is miserable.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we kind of talked about the Bucks already. I think you feel they can repeat because you said they're all coming back. What are some of your favorite sports moments?
As an individual or
could be both. I mean, I usually ask pro, but when I had Gio in here, he told me all his favorite softball moments.
Oh, no
so it's
way.
really
No
totally
way.
up to you.
I mean, one of my favorite sports moments is I went to the playoff game when the Marlins ended up winning the World Series.
2003?
Yeah, and it was when Dontrell Willis was pitching. And
Oh my
he was
God,
a beast.
he was awesome
dude.
then.
And then who did they have? Beckett too.
Beckett,
and
yeah.
then,
I think Beckett had the tag to
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah. So it was just cool, especially that man had a crazy windup, seeing him live and pitch like that, and they actually lost that game by one.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
ended up winning anyways. But that was a cool experience. Even the Rays last year making it to the World Series, right? I was hoping they were going to pull it off. And honestly, you never know this year, right? Them and Boston are neck and
Right
neck.
there, yeah.
Right?
And you got more wild cards than ever, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm a diehard Rays fan. It doesn't matter. I won't go from them. And honestly, the Bucks last year, when the Lightning back-to-back, it's huge right now for Tampa sports. And I've been waiting on this, right? Yeah. Because, I've been
the Lightning won again, too. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, back-to-back.
Yeah.
So, you had the Lightning win. You had Tampa already go to the World Series, right? And you had Tampa Bay win again. Hopefully, Tampa Bay brings it back for the Bucks. And then, who knows? Maybe the Rays will pull something out.
Could we have a new city of champions?
Maybe. So... Those are pretty awesome. So yeah.
Want to get your take on this because I've wanted to ask this on the show and I haven't really been asking it. Which movie theaters could be dying out? Yeah. Obviously, we got Cinemagic closing here. AMC's kind of still. Do you enjoy going to watch a movie in theater?
I do.
I do too.
Yeah, it's the whole thing about it.
It's an event, and it's because I feel like, my brother Bobby's like, that's so stupid. I like watching at home. I'm like, dude, I love going into the theater.
I like the experience, right?
Yeah.
It's more for the experience. Like it was honestly a horrible movie. Like me and a few of my buddies went to see a movie the other day, and I'm not gonna rap on the movie. You just gotta watch it. But I mean, even like watching the preview, seeing what's gonna come out, having a little popcorn, hanging out,
It
right?
just feels
like I'm sorry. Like if I'm watching Netflix, I'm not like. Oh.
See, I think that like the movie theater is in our DNA as Americans.
Yeah.
That's like even
right.
the drive-through.
Yeah.
Like, I remember like now Cinemagic's gonna be gone. I'm like, I was heartbroken. I was like, God damn this pandemic, you're ruining everything. Because when I went to see the latest, obviously I love Halloween. We got Michael Myers always on the table here. I went to the newer Halloween movie. Got a guy dressed as Michael Myers. I'm taking pictures with it because I'll go to the theater alone. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I just love that experience. And I'm so afraid that we're moving towards they're going to be gone. And I don't want that to happen.
No.
I do not want that to happen. Let me see here. Do you have a top 5 favorite movies?
I'll tell you top few at least. Sure. I mean, 300's always the go-to Spartan, right?
You kind of look like.
Yeah. People say that. Yeah. Troy's a big one for me. Boondock Saints is solid. A lot of people don't know about this, but Green Street Hooligans, that's a pretty good one. And let me think what else. I think that's good right now. Yeah.
All right. Do you have a top 5 TV shows?
Right now, I'm heavy into Vikings, man. That is
I've heard a lot of people bring this up, and I have not seen it.
Yeah, Prison Break was always good when I watched that. Sons of Anarchy. Jump back to the top 5 favorite movies.
Sure.
Can't forget my boy Nick Cage on Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's an inside joke with like 169 people.
Probably. Yeah.
So funny story about that real quick. I'll make it brief. So especially when I was like in institution after institution, people used to be like always like, what are you watching? And it got so annoying like telling people what you're watching. So I just used to tell people every single time it's Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, okay.
So I said that for years and years and years. So it was kind of funny.
Was it being like, I want you gone in 60 seconds?
No, just like, I don't care what I'm watching or what's going on with the TV. They're going to ask me. I'm going to tell them it's gone in 60 seconds. Then eventually people stop telling. Like, what are you watching? They'll figure it out.
Oh, that makes sense.
What were you saying?
Any other TV shows that you liked?
Those are probably the
were
top
you Sopranos?
ones I like.
Did you ever watch Sopranos?
No, not a big Sopranos guy.
We pushed that on the show quite a bit. Justin, I can see him smiling. He knows I pushed that show. And I got people watching it that were like, I specifically have watched this because of you. Any top 5 albums or songs?
I'm not really I just like putting. Of course, when like I went through my phases of addiction and stuff, like I thought I was this wannabe thug or whatever, right? And it just was a false image of a scared little boy, right? So I would listen to like hardcore stuff, but like today I listen a lot of like NF. So even like Christian music, stuff like that.
107.3 has become my favorite station.
Yeah, country. I mean, you never go wrong with some Johnny Cash,
Yeah.
So yeah, a little Ring of Fire. But yeah, it's really whatever feeds my soul today, right?
Yeah.
So
I do. I remember when WAF went out, and I've always been a Christian. I left the Catholic Church years ago, but I've always had the beliefs.
Yeah.
And that station has like brought me back. Now it's the K-Love, and I love that station. I absolutely love it. All right, we're gonna get into my favorite part of the show, which is blank versus blank. I'm gonna give you 2 things. Anything it could be. You got to pick one, and you got to tell me why.
Okay.
First one, and this is my favorite one that I've asked, and I'm going to be asking this for a long time, I think. Who is more responsible for the success of the New England Patriots over the last 20 years? Tom Brady or Bill Belichick?
Tom Brady. Proven fact of what just happened with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
But do you think, though, he went to a ready-made team?
I mean, don't get me wrong, he had the weapons to utilize, but at the same time, I mean, look at what happened with him gone.
I mean, I have to say, they went from, 12-4 to what it was.
Yeah.
Quarterback position so important.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We get to that. That one caused a lot. I love it's like one of my favorite questions.
Yeah.
Because, all All right, now I get two people that went to the Devil Rays, Tampa Bay Devil Rays during the what was the way they do like the draft, but it's not like a regular draft.
Yeah.
It's like they take players already in the league. I got Wade Boggs, was already future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Or I got the crime dog, Fred McGriff. This is 1998. They're playing there.
Yeah.
Who would you take? I know one's a Hall of Famer, one's not, but
Yeah. Wade Boggs, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really beat him.
yeah. He wanted to go into the Hall of Fame as
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And they kind of were like, no, your best years were in Boston.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I loved Fred McGriff as a kid
Mm-hmm.
because growing up in New England, believe it or not, you had Nesson, but you had to pay for Nesson. So could I watch the Red Sox every night? Absolutely not. They had to be on Channel 8 if I had to see them. Guess who was on every night on TBS?
He was.
The Braves.
Yeah.
And we ate it up. And the Braves were awesome in the 90s.
Yeah.
I know they only got one World Series, so like,
No, I liked him. Yeah.
you know, when they got Fred McGriff and he would swing and then the arm would come over his head. That's a tough one for me. I'd probably take Wade. No, I'd take Fred McGriff because Wade Boggs is a traitor. Doesn't deserve to have his number retired in Fenway.
man.
You rode a horse in Yankee Stadium. I don't ever want to hear your name ever again. As in 1996, not only were you a former Red Sox, but you beat the Braves.
Yeah.
Wade Boggs. Whenever, like Kyrie Irving, those names are going to be banned moving forward. No. All right, you can only pick one of these to watch moving forward.
Okay.
One you can never watch again.
Okay.
I got the Tampa Bay Rays or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Honest. Ooh.
These are the tough questions.
Wow, dude. That's messed up. That's messed up. I mean, I hate to say that this being a baseball player, but I got to watch the Bucks, man. I got to watch the Bucks because I enjoy watching football more than baseball. I just do. I played football in high school and stuff too, so.
Football has slowly
Yeah.
become the national pastime.
Oh, yeah.
Because I agree with you. I grew up on the Red Sox. Red Sox now won all these World Series. But what's happened is Sunday is such an event.
Yeah, it is.
You get the family together.
can't
Maybe you
wait
get the
for football
friends
season.
together.
I know.
It's fall.
Yeah.
Every game matters.
It does.
It's slowly become like, I hate to say it, but the Patriots, especially under Brady, became like the New England team. Because it was always the Red Sox.
Yep.
So that's hard. I thankfully these are not really have to happen.
I know. But who knows with COVID?
Yeah, I mean, have you enjoyed playing softball more or baseball?
I mean, probably baseball growing up. I mean, that's why I kind of play softball.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I missed an opportunity, right? I mean, I was a decent player, say the least. And then I just literally stopped showing up to school after my junior year. And I just maybe had opportunities, right? And I didn't utilize them because I wanted to pick drugs and stuff over baseball and my education. So.
Well, I mean, I'll say straight, plain and simple. In my 30s, I don't want to play baseball anymore.
No. Well, I wouldn't want to play baseball now.
No, like I love about softball is like, the bases are shorter.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
the best position in softball right now for me is EH.
Yeah,
I'd rather just EH.
I'll catch your EH most
Oh,
of the
yeah.
time when they're like, you got to. There's been times I showed up to the Sunday league.
Yeah.
And Jen's like, I need you in the outfield. I go, bench me.
Yep.
Just bench me. Well, bench me. I don't. You know what? I'm gonna go to my car now.
Yeah.
Okay, you can EH. All right, I'll stay. Now your last name's Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
And we had two icons, the same last name, brother and sister. You can only listen to one for the rest of your life. Michael Jackson or Janet Jackson?
Michael Jackson. I mean, I listen
King
to
of
Janet
pop.
Jackson. King
Yeah.
of pop. And my father's name that passed away, right?
Yeah.
MJ. What up?
Yeah, I mean, she's always kind of lived in his shadow.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say, Janet is pretty awesome.
No, she's awesome. I mean, I definitely listened to MJ more than her.
Yeah, he's
like,
got
I'm
more.
not, yeah.
I mean, the amount of hits that he had to what she had.
Put it this way, I'm not putting on a track in my truck listening to Janet. That's just
Yeah.
me, though.
Fair.
Everyone has their thing,
Yeah.
but,
Fair enough. Two guys that saved baseball, in my opinion, in 1998
Okay.
with their home run race. Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa?
Mark McGwire. Yeah.
I mean, and we got Mark on the table today. Get
I
that,
love
Justin,
Mark
right
McGwire
there.
playing. He's one of my favorite players growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was my favorite player.
Yeah.
And I know he didn't play for the teams I rooted for, but when my whole stance playing baseball,
Yeah.
I just looked at Mark McGwire.
Oh, yeah.
And it worked for me.
Yeah.
I loved it. Florida, New Hampshire.
For what?
You can only live in one.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm here, aren't I?
Yeah.
So kind of explains it. You can't be in two places at the same time, and I'm sitting in front of you right now.
Yeah. No. I've been to Florida twice.
Yeah.
And true story, I didn't get to Florida till I was 31.
Oh wow.
31, yeah. Yeah, we drove down to Siesta Key. And everybody's like, what do you mean? For years, people were like, what do you mean never been to Florida? I'm like, I've never been to Florida. I don't know what to tell you. We didn't go to Disney World as a vacation.
Yeah.
We were lucky if we got to the lake because I had, 3 brothers. We didn't go on, the vacations weren't really a big thing in our family. So we never did that. And then, but finally I went down and I remember crossing, and I went right to the Florida sign, took my championship belt and was like, I've made it to Florida.
That's
I've
awesome.
made it. And then I went back for Worlds one time, but I've only been there twice. But
No, it's awesome. Man. Don't get me wrong. Like I still love Florida. It's where I'm from. But
yeah,
got family here now. You know.
I will say though, Siesta Key, that beach is like,
pretty
I
much
thought
where
I
I'm
was,
from.
because I've been to the Caribbean before.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, wow, this
Number one
water.
beach in the USA.
I was like, this water is just as nice.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't have to use a passport to get to
Right.
it. So. All right, toughest question in blank versus blank. We don't put your feet to the fire here because this is tough. I got Michael Schultz or Matt Lee. 2 players
Oh
on
my
rock
God!
bottom.
You can't do this to me. Myself. I'm taking out myself. I'm not answering that.
We do. That is always the toughest.
I'm
one.
taking myself out.
No, and you can do that. We don't.
I'm taking myself out on that. I love them to death.
I always
Equally.
I use the example. I had Bobby on the show.
Yeah.
I said, "Mom or Dad?" He goes, "Oh, Mom." He didn't even blink, and I was like,
Oh my God.
I was like, "Bill, don't watch this episode." But anyways, Amadeus, I really appreciate you coming on
I
the show.
appreciate
This
you
has been an
having me. It's
absolute
been
blast.
awesome. Thanks everyone. DC Nation, baby. Let's go.
So good luck to the Diamond Cutters on the rest of the season. Also, again, Soapy Pre-Op. I'm calling you out, brother. I'm going to be looking for you this weekend. I know I'm going to find you. And when I do, it's not going to be good. But other than that, everybody keep your heads up. Keep smiling. If you're asked to wear a mask, please just wear one. But until next time, let freedom ring.